Okay, so we got some movie news that just got announced out of nowhere. Like, this was just random as all hell. And on one hand, I'm like interested because this is in this director's wheelhouse, but on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but no. So for those who are unaware, it was announced today that we are getting a new Robocop film. Now, no, this is not a remake or a follow-up to the remake, which, looking back on it, I still don't absolutely hate, but it's not a great film. It's not it's not as terrible as people make it out to be. There are some elements I do like, but on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, this is not as strong as I initially thought. I was just like, eh. But it is doing exactly what the new the upcoming Terminator film, as well as Halloween, the Halloween 2018 movie, are doing. In that they are essentially this movie is essentially disregarding sequels and following up to the original film. Again, like how Jurassic World kind of follows the first film, but even though it loosely references the other films and the continuity doesn't make sense, even though they want to be in continuity but they can't. Whatever. Fuck. So yeah, it's doing the same thing, and that looks like it's going to be a lot of the norm. In that, yeah, it's going to just acknowledge one film and disregard the rest. And it's fun, and also the director, because it's almost 2 minutes in. Come on, you should have said this earlier, DPZ. What the fuck? In that, it is going to be Neil Blomkamp, who most of you guys know best as the director of District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. Yeah. Now, most of you guys also know that Blomkamp was going to direct a Aliens film that was going to officially conclude Ripley's story and disregard Alien 3 and 4, Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Which, looking back, I don't hate Alien 3 as much. I mean, I hate what they do with Newton and Hicks and that they kill them, but it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's not great. It's not a film. It's not my go-to Alien film, but I've grown like an appreciation for Alien 3. Alien Resurrection, though, can go fuck itself. Yeah, that movie that hot piece of garbage can just go down a drain. But yeah, so yeah, I find it funny that Blomkamp, because Ridley Scott has such a great vision for his Alien franchise now. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's not going to be able to direct his own Alien film. So I guess this is Blomkamp's revenge in that, yeah, I can't do Alien, but I'm going to do a Robocop sequel. So, sure, okay. Now, this is going to follow directly with the original director's film, his sequel idea. This is going to disregard Robocop 2 and 3, which, funny story, and it's funny how I've talked about this before with different films, is that I saw a sequel before I saw the original film. Like how I saw Predator 2 before Predator and Terminator 2 before Terminator 1. I saw Robocop 2 before I saw Robocop 1. It's weird that I see the sequels first and then see the original films. Like, that's a majority. That's like a majority of my classic film watching. Funny enough, I think I saw Alien Resurrection long before I saw Alien. Now that I think about it, yeah. Anywho, so I'm interested, but then again, Neil Blomkamp, who directed District 9, I really dug District 9. Elysium was fine. I think there was a lot more hype for Elysium, but then it didn't live up to the hype it had. But District 9 I still really like. Chappie, however, oh, that movie is hot garbage. It is so bad. I can get what they were trying to do with it, but on the other end of the spectrum, I was like, wow, I can't stand any of these characters. And this story is garbage. So, yeah, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And I know he's did some other stuff, but Blomkamp, his shtick, essentially, you figured it out after all 3 films, that big government is bad, and big corporations are bad, and we fight for the little guy. Yeah, that's all of his films put together. That is every one of his films. But on the other hand, that it fits RoboCop to a T, because that's the whole thing of RoboCop, is that, you know, this big corporation is taking over a city and only cares more about cares about numbers and money than it does actual people's lives, and it's always marketing with big government and whatnot. So, and that's what RoboCop is in its core, is that, all three RoboCop films always kind of deal with that whole, OCP is this big corporation that wants to just take over, and it cares more about money than it does human lives. That's This is Blomkamp's wheelhouse to a T. So the fact that they got the guy who pretty much, gets that idea, who understands that, yeah, totally in. Now the big question is now, for the article I read, and someone else can confirm this for me, is that I don't know if they got Peter Weller back as RoboCop. I don't know if they got Peter Weller back as RoboCop, or if they're going to go with somebody new. I guarantee you, though, that Sharto Copley is going to be in this film in some capacity, because he's in every one of Blomkamp. He's like Blomkamp's boy. He's like, he's pretty much the equivalent. Sharto Copley, he's a great actor, by the way. He got totally misused in Maleficent. I feel so bad for him. But Copley is pretty much like the equivalent of how... He's one of those go-to actors for that director, like how Danny Trejo is for Robert Rodriguez, or someone like Samuel Jackson is for Quentin Tarantino. He's one of those actors who Blomkamp is like, he's my go-to guy. He is my guy I'm going to go to every time to, get this film, because I know how that actor is. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, Blomkamp's going to have Sharto Copley in here in some capacity. He would probably play the villain. I don't see it. He's probably going to be the villain in some capacity. Maybe something... I don't think he's going to be like Kane in the second movie. But I do think he's probably going to be like someone like in OCP. Having said that, though, I again think this is very much in the wheelhouse. I do like RoboCop 2 in that it's a beautiful mess. I enjoy it. It's like fun background noise for me. Like I said, it's just a hot, beautiful train wreck of a film, because it's Frank Miller. It's pretty much, and yeah, Frank Miller wrote that script, but it's very clear, and from what I understand is that they didn't even use half the stuff Frank Miller thought of for the film. So, and I know there was a comic that followed up on that Frank Miller got to unleash his full Frank Miller-ness on that, so it's interesting that they're disregarding it for the original idea. And that looks like a very much like a norm in Hollywood now, in that we're moving away from remake. A lot of people are moving away from remakes and doing sequels that disregard other sequels. We've done that already with Jurassic World, technically. We're doing that with Halloween, and we're doing that with Terminator. So, it looks like we're moving slowly away from remakes and more into sequels that disregard continuity of other films. Which is way more confusing than a remake, to be honest. It's way more confusing, because, try explaining the Halloween timeline, because that's been rebooted so many times. Okay, you've got Halloween 1 and 2, but Halloween 3 is in its own thing. So, but, however, Halloween 4 follows 1 and 2, and 4, 5, 6 follow those two films. However, H20 disregards what is known as the Thorn Trilogy and just focuses on Halloween 1 and 2, but now you have this new film that disregards everything but the first movie. Yeah. Make your head spin. But yeah, so, this sounds like it's going to be interesting, it's the same thing with Terminators, we're just disregarding everything but, Judgment, T1 and Judgment Day. Alright. I mean, you can't go further than Genesis. I mean, you can't sink lower than Genesis, technically, so, yeah. But did we have to, but Rise of the Machines, Rise of the Machines is not a good film, I will admit, but it's fun. It's fun, I like it in the sense that it's a fun movie. It's not great, no. But it's probably the best out of Salvation Genesis, Rise of the Machines is definitely like the better of those. But anyway, but yeah, like I said, I'm really hoping we get District 9 Blomkamp and not Chappie Blomkamp. I want that Blomkamp because, again, this is definitely in his wheelhouse. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm hoping they get Peter Weller back as Robocop, as Alex Murphy. I'd really like to see where he could go with this, but again, the dude's pretty old, you know. Peter Weller is a pretty old man, so that might be difficult. You know, it might be difficult, you know, putting on all that armor again might be a little much for him, but here's hoping. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Neil Blomkamp doing a new Robocop film? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Do you guys want Peter Weller back? What do you guys think of this disregarding the other Robocop films? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.